Hey, Cami, this is Maya. Can you promote John? I think he might be on as a member of the public.
Oh, let me see. Yes, I see him. I'll go ahead and promote him. Thank you, Maya.
Huh? And Chantel, did you promote her too?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Ms. Garcia, are you taking Zinya's place tonight?
I am. Yes, I'll be clerking.
Okay. So do you have additional information for the public after I read the first couple of paragraphs of the agenda here?
Yes, I can share my screen for public participation.
Okay. I'm going to read the first two paragraphs, then turn the show over to you to do whatever you need to do. All right?
Okay, sounds good.
Are we expecting Dan tonight?
Yes, I don't see him yet. I'll go ahead and resend the invitation to him just in case.
Yes, Dan confirmed, Chair Pond.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Garcia, is it time we get rolling?
Yes, we can begin when you're ready.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to the regular Planning Commission meeting of the City of St. Helena for Tuesday, October 19th. I've got a couple paragraphs I need to read before we get going, so here. This meeting will be conducted pursuant to the provisions of Government Code Section 54953 as amended by AB 361, which authorizes teleconference meetings under the Brown Act during certain proclaimed events of emergency. The Governor of California proclaimed as a state of emergency related to COVID-19 on March 4th, 2020. This teleconference meeting is necessary so that the city can conduct essential business and is permitted under Government Code 54953 in order to protect public health and safety of attendees. Consistent with Government Code Section 54953, this Planning Commission meeting will be held via teleconference only and will not be physically open to the public. Commission members and staff will teleconference into the meeting using by audio and or video. The meeting will be conducted via Zoom webinar. Ms. Garcia, do you have additional information for the public?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Okay. To participate in public comment by phone, please dial 669-900-6833 and at the prompt, enter 875-2987-1476. Then press pound, and during public comment, please press *9 to speak. Tonight's meeting will have live Spanish interpretation. To access the interpretation, you will need to use the Zoom application from either your cell phone, tablet, or computer. Instructions on how to use the Zoom app are listed in English and Spanish on the agenda posted on the city's website. Once you join the meeting from the Zoom application, you will see a small globe at the bottom or top of your screen. Please click the globe and you will be able to access the live interpretation. Marcy and Claudia are interpreters for this evening.
Thank you very much, Ms. Garcia. So the first item of the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Segura, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Yes, indeed. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Call the meeting to order. Ms. Garcia, will you take the roll, please?
Yes. Chair Pont,
Here.
Vice Chair Hale,
Here.
Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Commissioner Segura,
Here,
and Commissioner Rothfeld.
Here.
Thank you. That takes us to item 3, public forum. This is an opportunity for the public to address the commission on items of interest to the public that are not listed on the agenda. Because of restrictions imposed by the Brown Act, the commission may not engage in discussion nor take action on matters not described on the agenda. Ms. Garcia, are there any hands out there? Anybody wishing to speak under public comment?
No, it looks like no hands today.
All right, thank you. That takes us to item 4, consent items. We have one item tonight, which is the minutes of October 5th. Members of the commission or the public may ask that any items be considered individually for purposes of considering alternative action, for extended discussion, or for public comment. Unless that is done, one motion may be used to adopt all recommended items. Is there any member of the commission that wishes to pull the minutes for the 5th for further discussion? Don't see any hands. Ms. Garcia, is there any member of the public that wishes to have that item pulled for further discussion?
No.
All right. then a motion at this time would be appropriate. If someone would care to make a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes as written.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Have a motion, a second. Ms. Garcia, will you tally the vote, please?
Yes. Vice Chair Hale,
Yes.
Commissioner Rothfeld.
Yes.
Oh, I apologize. Segura, you made the second, didn't you? I'm sorry about
Yes,
that.
That's perfectly fine. Yes.
And I have you, Ms. Rothfeld, with your yes, and Commissioner Anderson
Yes.
and Chair Pont.
Yes.
Thank
That
you.
takes us to item 5, public hearings, which we have one tonight. 5.1, request by Beth Novak Milliken of Spottswoode Winery for approval of a design review for a 780 square foot second story office addition to an existing winery production facility located at 1902 Madrona. And I will open the public hearing and first ask if there's any member of the commission that has any ex parte contacts on this item. I don't see any hands. So then Director DeRosa, the staff report, please.
Yes, certainly. I'd like to reintroduce Chantel Power, our contract planner, who will be presenting this item to the Planning Commission.
Thank you.
Very good. Good evening, Commissioners. Tonight's item is design review file number PL 21-029. This is a request for a small 708 square foot addition remodel to a second story of an existing wine production facility for office and meeting space located at 1902 Madrona Avenue. Within the agriculture general plan district and the winery zoning district, also in the historic preservation overlay. As part of this project, no change to water use is proposed, no new fixtures, no change in the number of employees, visitors, or production capacity are proposed. It's simply additional office and meeting space. You can see the area of work located here. Here's Madrona Avenue. So the location of the work is at the back of the existing wine production building, and maybe somewhat visible from Madrona Avenue, coming from the kind of south west of the site, but otherwise won't be visible from the street. Again, that's a 780 square foot second story addition. No addition to the building footprint is proposed. The site has 19 existing parking spaces and no additional parking is proposed in connection with the project. The existing first floor plan, you can see there are a number of office spaces, restroom, workrooms, labs, mechanical rooms, etc. And then the office space and meeting room will largely be open floor plan spaces. Again, here is the existing conditions of the building. This is taken from the vineyard from the north, so not visible from the street, or not very much anyway. So this is the area where the second story will be constructed. You can see in both pictures there. And then this will be the result. And as you can see, has been designed to match building materials, including colors, windows, doors, roof line, etc. There is one issue that I wanted to raise with the commissioners because not all of the zoning requirements could be met, namely the rear setback. But as no expansion of the building footprint is proposed, the reason why that's a non-conforming setback currently is when this building came before the Planning Commission in 1998 for design review, it was noted that it's a much smaller lot size than what is currently required by the zoning code. And they felt that the rear setback of 75 feet was not necessary in this case. Also due to the fact that this site is surrounded mostly by other vineyards. In terms of historic preservation, there's only one historic building on the site. That's the historic stone barrel cellar building, which was constructed in 1885, and no additions or remodels of that building are proposed in connection with this project. That concludes my presentation. We do also have a representative from the winery available and the project architect to field questions. So we'll go ahead and open it up to the Planning Commission for questions.
Does anybody have any questions of Ms. Power at the present time? No? I have two, I think. Was the original structure approved as a conditional use? Does it have a conditional use permit?
There is a conditional use permit on file. That was for one of the other buildings on site. I'm going to go back to the site plan. So the conditional use permit, actually the conditional use permit included the office building off to the right here, and the wine production building in the back. Okay. It was taken back to the commission in 1998 for design review of the wine production building because there was some small changes to the site plan that happened after the conditional use permit, mostly to preserve this large oak tree that they have on the site. And so because of that, they needed to take it back for design review. But there is a use permit on file for the property as well as an additional design review.
My second question is a bit odd. I notice under permitted uses for a winery, all accessory uses, including offices, laboratories, equipment maintenance shops, employee eating facilities, cooperage repair shops, wine storage tanks, scales, and boiler rooms. However, under conditional uses, it says any winery equipment or improvements proposed to be located within 400 feet of any residential district or within 200 feet of State Highway 29, the Silverado Trail, or Deer Park Road. I believe this is within the 400 feet of a residential district. Is that correct?
Yes, I think it was something like 380 feet or something like that from a residential district. That's correct.
I'm just trying to ask these questions for clarity's sake as much as anything else. I've discussed this with staff, and staff has batted it around, and they're of the opinion that any winery equipment or improvements was intended to apply to things that make noise, scale, bottling line, those kinds of things. Just by the way, the rest of the whole winery section reads. But I just want to point it out so we're clear that adopting this, we're also sort of defining this as not winery equipment or improvements. It's the kind of thing that I'm certainly hoping, I'm sure the rest of you, as well as the public, is hoping that our new redraft of the zoning code will finally clarify in English, and simply say pretty much anything that's connected with the winery equipment that makes a lot of noise, the 400 feet will apply to. So that was the sum of my questions. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions of Ms. Power? I don't see any hands. So if the applicant would care to speak in support of their project, now would be a good time. Please.
Well, I guess I will speak as the applicant. I'm Karen Jensen and I'm the architect on the project. And essentially, we're just trying to create a place for the employees to have desks. There isn't much room for that right now. And by staying in the same footprint and staying beneath the highest line of the existing buildings on site, we were hoping it would just blend in and not cause any kind of an impact on the residences that are nearby. And we're matching all of our materials. So hopefully it will be just a seamless addition to the property.
Thank you. Does anyone on the commission have any questions for the applicant? I can't see everybody. I'm assuming there's no hands raised. At which point, this is time to take public testimony, either for or against the project. Ms. Garcia, is there any member of the public that appears to wish to speak on this project?
There is no public comment.
No public comment. All right. Given that, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Does any commission member wish to say anything about this project to the commission as we discuss it? I don't see any hands there either. So I will chip in my 2 cents saying, this looks like a fine project to me. I'm not even sure you can see it from the road, driving past that pretty commonly. So I'm pleased to see that Spottswoode is keeping up with their reputation for being sensitive to the environment, and that includes the visual environment. So with that, unless there's no other commissioners that care to speak, Commissioner Segura.
I just wanted to say that desks are always good for employees. It does great stuff for employee morale. So kudos to you. Thank you for giving desks to employees. And I agree, it's a great project.
Any other commissioner wish to say anything about this project? Once again, I don't see any hands. So at this point, a motion would be appropriate, please.
I would move that we approve the staff recommendation and determine that the project is exempt from the requirements of CEQA pursuant to sections 15301, and accept the required findings and approve a resolution granting design review approval for the proposed 780 square foot second story addition remodel of the existing wine production building at the Spottswoode Winery located at 1902 Madron Avenue.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hale. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
We have a second. Ms. Garcia, will you take the roll, please?
Absolutely. Vice Chair Hale,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Segura,
Yes.
Commissioner Rothfeld,
Yes.
And Chair Pont?
Yes. Well, thank you. That completes our public hearings for this evening and takes us to number 6, scheduled matters, of which there appear to be none, which takes us to item 7, department reports. Director DeRosa, do you have anything for us this evening?
Do just another update on the zoning code. We're going to have a subcommittee meeting this week. And now we're into part 4, which is the citywide standards. So we're diving into parking, landscaping, signage. And then that might take 2 meetings when we get 2 or 3 meetings. When we get beyond that, we'll have our part 5, which is going through the definitions and the rules of measurement. And then we will have actually looked at all of the code minus the affordable housing section, because we're currently working, as I mentioned before, with Lisa Wise on trying to get the inclusionary housing adjusted to what the market conditions are. So that will ultimately become part of the part 4 standards. So that's that update. And then just a reminder, we are going to have a meeting, the first meeting in November on the 2nd. And of course, that's going to be the Hunter draft EIR public comments. And that is all that we have agendized for that meeting. And that's my report.
Thank you. And tonight we stumbled across one more item that the zoning code needs to fix. So good thing we're doing that. This is also the time. Agenda forecast. Below on the agenda is a link to see what the pending projects are. And this is also the time for the commission and its members to request anything they wish to see on the agenda for the future. Does anybody have anything they wish to see on a future agenda at the present time? No, I don't see any hands. So that takes us to the last item for the night, which is adjournment. Under half an hour. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Can I make a comment before we leave? Congratulations to the city. That was a great harvest festival. It was wonderful. And I think that the public was hungry for that. Everybody had a good time. It was great. Thank you, city employees.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody have a good night. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Okay, bye.